Palamericano.
Hey everyone, it's Nikki Victoria and welcome back to my channel. So a couple days ago I asked you guys to send me some of your best pictures for me to recreate, and I took it as a challenge and I recreated some of your guys' photos. Unfortunately, I couldn't do all of them because there were just way too many that were sent to me, but I did do 14 of them, which I think is a lot. And I even tried to edit them the same, which I found was the hardest part. But if you guys do enjoy this video, then leave me a comment down below saying that I should do a part 2 to this video. And also be sure to follow me on Instagram to not miss out on any of these announcements for videos. It's Nikki_Victoria_. And without further ado, let's get started with this video. Okay, so the first photo I recreated was by a makeup artist that once did my makeup for a photo shoot. Her name's Katie Kupal, and she had like this design on her face that she made with paint, I think, and I tried to recreate that exact makeup, so here's the behind the scenes of me doing that. Okay guys, so we're starting out big and we're gonna do this photo first. And I have some acrylic paint, which I'm hoping not to use because I think it's going to damage my skin. I also have these acrylic crayons or whatever that I stole from middle school. Well, I didn't steal them, but I just like forgot to give them back. And I also have some cheap paint brushes because my mom doesn't want me using her expensive ones. And I also have some makeup if I need to like cover anything up. So let's get started. So I just finished taking the photo for this makeup look and I'm very happy with them. It needs a bit of editing, but otherwise, I think that I nailed this one. Okay, so the finished product turned out like this. But overall, I think I give myself a 6 out of 10 on this photo because I think I did the makeup pretty well and the colors were really exact. But her photo is just way more professional and like in an actual studio and everything. Better lighting and just better edited. The next photo I did was of this girl in a Kiss t-shirt, and she had these fishnet leggings on, she had bangs, and she was doing a peace sign in her photo. Shout out to my best friend Leonita, by the way. She took like more than half of these photos and I'm really happy with how they turned out. And so her and I went to the park on a very hot and sunny day and we died of like heat stroke. Like we almost died of heat stroke because it was like 35 degrees outside. I'm not even kidding. And we went like to some bushes and just did that photo, tried to recreate it as best as we could. But I think that she took this photo in golden hour, but mine was like straight sunlight, so it was kind of overexposed. But the end result I think looks pretty similar, like in terms of how I look. And also the outfit was kind of extreme for me because I never wear fishnet tights. I have them, but I don't wear them. And when I was walking to the park, this car actually honked at me, like driving by, and they honked at me. And I screamed after them with like a bad Russian word. So moving on to the next photo, this one was also taken on the same day that my friend and I went to the park. And this girl was wearing a white off-the-shoulder top and she was like in a tennis court. But the fence that she had in her photo looked very different from the one that we had. And I think that my photo kind of turned out a bit blurry and that's why it might have not looked as good. And also my hand was closed like this instead of being open like hers. So for this photo, I think I give myself a 5 out of 10 because the photo kind of turned out a bit blurry. And also my photo is a bit too close to me, like the camera was a bit too close to me. It's a bit more zoomed in, but hers is a bit more zoomed out. And moving on to the next photo, I actually recreated one of my YouTube friends' photos. Her name's Stephanie Kondo. And she was standing in front of a tree with like a sports bra and shorts and like a bunch of bushes.
So right now, we're taking Stephanie's photo and
I'm in a bra in the middle of the park. You know, I'm on my knees. There's ants. There's bugs. Probably an 8-year-old boy peed here in this very spot.
There's Stephanie's. And there's our Nicole.
Luckily, there were actually purple flowers there, and there was a tree behind me that looked like the exact same as hers. It was like a V. And in terms of this photo, I'd give myself an 8 out of 10 because I think that the outfit was on point. I even had like the bracelets on the same hand that she had them on. Moving on to the next one, this was actually probably the hardest one that my friend and I had to do because it was literally taken in the middle of a river. And also, luckily, I actually had a really similar shirt. Like, it had a really similar pattern to it. And so I just put on some jeans, 30 degrees weather, jeans.
So your left foot goes under your right foot. Like leg. Is your mouth closed? Yes.
I need dollar, 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 that's what I need. Hey, hey, well I need a dollar, 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 that's what I need.
And also, since her background for the river was like rocks and like a hill of rocks or something, and I edited the trees in the background to look like stone because they were really bright and green and it just didn't look like the photo. And I'd give myself an 8 out of 10 for this photo again because I'm just really happy that we found a really similar location to hers. Moving on to the next photo, this one was taken in a playground. So you know how I said that the photo that was taken in the middle of a river was the hardest? Well, this one was actually the hardest because I was hanging upside down. And I haven't done that in a long time. I think this girl is younger than me and she's way more flexible. She's literally a contortionist compared to me because my back just wouldn't bend. It's 6 o'clock. We've been here since 3:30. It's 30 degrees. I'm wearing jeans. She's wearing jeans. You guys really made me go through pain. I got heat stroke. My head's hurting. Can't wait to go home. We got the photo and I'm actually really happy in terms of the editing. And yeah, I think that I did really well on this photo. I'd actually give myself a 10 out of 10 because it was that hard to do and I actually nailed it. So this next photo that my friend took for me was, you guessed it, taken in the park. So the body positioning wasn't really like, we didn't have enough time to like fix the body positioning. And also her plant is like right in front of her and mine's like on the side of me. And it was also really hard to edit like her because she's kind of like, she did this kind of vintage faded effect. So I'd give myself a 5 out of 10 for this photo. So the next photo I recreated was this girl standing on a beach and she was like in the water. So my family and I went to the lake and we tried recreating this photo. Of course the waves weren't really the same because my beach was more rocky than sandy. But the dress that I wore was actually my mom's and I edited the color of the dress from blue to black. And also I couldn't film it behind the scenes for this photo and the next photo that I'm going to show you because it was taken on like a busy beach and there were so many people. So yeah, I edited a bunch of people out of that photo and I'd give myself like an 8 for this photo. The next photo was also taken when I was on the lake and I had my mom hold my hand and like take the photo. I think that out of all of the photos that I recreated, this one looks the least similar to the original because her photo was more taken from above because I'm guessing she's like shorter. However, I'm taller than my mom, so she was kind of like taking it like this. And I give myself like a 3 out of 10 for this photo. moving on to the next photo, this was actually one of my favorites to recreate because her makeup in this was so freaking pretty. And I actually used bright red lipstick to like make a tinted blush kind of here. So right now I'm doing makeup for this photo that I'm going to recreate, and she has freckles in this photo. So I decided to make my own freckles, and I'm using my eyebrow palette in the back of a brush and just like going like this, and then I put it on my face and I just stipple it across like that. But this photo was actually really hard to take because I was holding a rose, and I had a rose, it was dried up, but it was so dried up that while I was taking the photo, it just completely fell apart and all of its petals just fell off. Hers was actually still together and it was like a half dried up rose. And I had the exact same ring, but I couldn't fit it on my finger. Like, and that's why the hand positioning is just super wrong in my photo. So yeah, I'd give myself like the next photo was black and white, and it was of this girl just looking down at her camera. And I thought that this was going to be very easy to recreate, but I was wrong. I was wearing a gray, like, wrinkled t-shirt for this, but it was all I had, so I made it work. And also my hair was like very curly for this photo, but her hair was straight. In the end though, I think it's pretty similar, and I'd give myself a 7 out of 10 for this photo. The next photo was taken outside on the grass. This girl was laying down and like taking a selfie from above. And I think I did like super well on this photo because our hair looked the same. I had like a necklace here. I went really into detail on this one. And I also had really similar glasses, and I edited the color of my hat to match hers. So I'd give myself like a 9 out of 10 for this photo. The next photo was of this girl studying, and it was taken from above, and she had like a white tile floor that she was sitting on. So I used a white backdrop that I had, and I just laid it on the floor and sat on it. I think that the books on her right side are very similar to mine, and I tried to arrange them as similar as I could. So I'd give myself like a 7 out of 10 for this photo because it could have been more zoomed out and I could have taken it more from above. And the last photo that I recreated I found very cute because it was a girl with her cat, and I have 2 cats if you didn't know, so I took this as a challenge and I tried taking it with both of my cats to see which one looked more similar. And it was really difficult holding them like she was holding them because her arm was like in front of the cat and she was kind of hugging it like this. And I think I give myself an 8.5 out of 10 for this photo. But yeah, those are all the photos that I recreated. And again, I'm sorry if I didn't do yours, but leave a comment down below saying if I should do a part 2. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!